Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 71st episode of the Game Packs Podcast. My name is Phil, and co-hosting with me, as always, are Camilo and John. This week, we will be talking about the state of play and the Pokemon Presents that premiered last week. Specifically, we're going to be talking about our state of play impressions, the Final Fantasy VII Remake that's coming to PS5 finally, and then we're going to move on to the Pokemon news this week. We're going to talk about the Generation 4 Pokemon remakes that finally were announced that people have been asking for, I don't know, since Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire came out. And they made us feel some feelings. We're going to talk about those feelings today. And then lastly, we're going to wrap up the show by talking about the last Pokemon news that was really, really big, and that was the game Pokemon Legends Arceus. All right, let's talk about PlayStation's state of play. I am going to just rattle off everything they talked about. We're not going to talk about everything in detail today because we are only going to talk about the things we care about. Otherwise, it would be very boring. All right, so we had the Crash Bandicoot PS5 upgrade was announced. Returnal, we had a little bit more footage of that game. Sifu, that was a new thing that we saw today. Not today. Was it today? No, not today.
Yesterday.
Knockout City, which is something we saw during the Nintendo Direct, the dodgeball game. Solar Ash, we saw some more from Solar Ash. We saw some more footage from Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach, but looks like kind of a reboot of the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise. We saw, for the millionth time, Oddworld Soulstorm, which is going to be a PS Plus game for April, which is nice. Then we saw Kena, Bridge of Spirits, which is coming out August 24th this summer. We got a packed summer, guys, coming up. And that footage looked really cool. Then they had Deathloop for, again, the millionth time. Deathloop is in every single State of Play or PlayStation announcement or any other gaming announcement for that matter. And quite frankly, I'm confused by it. Then lastly, the one more thing by Sony during the State of Play was the Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, which is a whole new chapter, DLC, Definitive Edition, whatever you want to call it. So, all right, now that I have sufficiently made the intro as long as possible, let's start off with a conversation with our general impressions of the Direct. What did you guys think of the State of Play on the whole? And I think Cam started last week, so I'm going to throw it over to John.
All right. So I wasn't a huge fan of the State of Play. I don't know. We came off of a Nintendo Direct like a week ago. It was on a high.
Right.
I liked a lot of stuff in there. But this was just a lot of the same. And I'm not a huge Final Fantasy guy, so the last announcement wasn't that big of a deal. But I am excited for a few games, like Returnal looks really cool, Sifu looks cool, Kena looks good, same with Solar Ash. I mean, I'll probably play a bunch of these games, if not all of them.
Yeah, there weren't.
Yeah, I'll definitely, I think maybe half. What, were you about to say something, Camilo? Sorry,
there weren't a lot of like brand new games announced. It was a lot of like updates on games we already knew about. Right?
Yeah, I mean, Knockout City was announced during the Direct, and then the other thing that they announced was Sifu was the only thing we hadn't seen before, and then there was the DLC for Final Fantasy, which is like not a new game. I will say, it's like DLC.
It was, that's kind of new. It was rumored. I remember reading rumors about it for a while, but yeah, that was nice to see.
But it's like PS5 enhancements, right? Like you get 60 FPS, and
yeah, and like lighting and fog. There's like a cool side by side they did. If you watch it in 4K, you can actually see the difference.
I would
it's
not
really
recommend,
hard with
like what they did. I would not recommend them doing. They streamed the side by side comparison. Like it doesn't.
Yeah, you can't watch that live. You have to watch it like on a 4K monitor or television or something, and then actually just like kind of slow it down and look at it side by side. But I mean, Camilo, you can agree with me. I'm very close to the end. I think I'm like 5 to 8 hours away.
You're past the point of no return thing because you did.
Yeah,
I'm not going to spoil it, but
yeah, I'm past the point of no return. The game's coming to a close. I think it is beautiful on PS4. But I really wish I would have been playing in 60 frames this whole time because I have been playing on a PS5, so that would have been nice. But it'll be cool for when I inevitably play Intergrade. And Cam, why don't you just talk about what Intergrade is, just quickly?
So basically, it's the PS5 version of the game. It has all these enhancements. Like it has, like we said, like the texture and the lighting updates. It offers you a graphics focus mode or performance mode. I think graphics targets the 4K, and then the performance targets the 60 FPS. There's also a new photo mode, which is cool. A lot of games are adding photo modes now. They're like integrating like the haptic feedback, so you get like the more like accurate like vibrations that the DualSense does. Faster loading times. That'll be great. That was incredible when I watched that. The loading times in that game were...
It was instant.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the PS5 version was like a second or two. But yeah, that was really cool. And there's a new episode included that is featuring Yuffie, which...
I thought you had to pay for that, though.
So you get Intergrade free if you have the original, but if you want like the actual story, new stuff, like that will be paid for. But you get all the enhancements and upgrades for free.
Which is cool. And it makes sense to me if they're selling like a new side store. It's just like any other game. If they're making like an expansion pass or DLC of like a side story of with 2 other characters that is, you know, probably that game's probably like 10 hours in length or something. You know, that's worth $20 to me. That sounds like a good time. I mean, the systems and everything in Final Fantasy are fantastic. And before, I know we can probably loop back to it. I just wanted to like kind of talk about what Intergrade was in case people like were like, Intergrade, what is that? Is there anything else you guys wanted to talk about from the other 9 games? Like, I want to talk about Kena some more for sure. So I'll go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
So,
I thought you were just gonna keep going. You know, I thought you were...
No, I don't know. I thought maybe you guys were gonna say something. Sorry. So Kena is really cool. It's got good it's got Breath of the Wild vibes. It's also sort of got like Horizon Forbidden West vibes, which has Zelda vibes. It's just like action-y, adventure-y, and then I saw some climbing where she's sort of climbing on like a
railing.
It was it was like a railing, some fencing or something, and that gave me some like Uncharted vibes. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, this is cool. So it's like kind of just like a mix of like a really pretty looking fantasy action game.
I think it looks great. It looks like it looks like you're playing like a Pixar movie.
Absolutely. So that's what I was kind of saying. I think we were maybe talking about it in the Discord or something, it was during your live stream.
Yeah.
That like it's just like Nintendo Switch makes great games. Like Nintendo's got great games, but like, man, they cannot compete in the graphical department. Like Kena looks so good. It really does look like a Pixar movie from like, 5 years ago. Like it's just insane how beautiful it is. But the one thing I know, I've watched the trailer 3 times, I think, and it seems to me like it might be linear.
Yeah,
but
it looks
also
more enclosed. The fights looked like it was like more of a one-on-one type deal than Breath of the Wild with the more open world. Even like Horizons seem more open than what Kena is right now.
Yeah, it looked like there was a lot of big bosses, like big fights. And then something that we looked up right before the show was that you guys said it was $40, right?
Yeah, $40.
So that concerns me because I want it to be a $70 game that takes me like 60 hours to beat. But it kind of sounds like it's going to be like
a shorter game, yeah.
Yeah, probably shorter.
Yeah.
Like 10. Well, it's
Which
like
is
a
fine.
Third, isn't it? It's like a third. It's not PlayStation Studios developing it. It's a third party.
Isn't it Ember Lab or something?
Yes, Ember Lab. That's correct.
Yeah, I think they're more indie side. They're more on the indie side.
I mean, they got some wonderful.
No, yeah, I mean they have they're great artists, but it's not a. It's not Insomniac or Naughty Dog.
I hear you. I think that game will be great, and I hope it has a lot of collectibles and a new game plus mode. I feel like a game that short needs a new game plus mode.
We could be wrong. It could be like 40, 50 hours. And I'm perfectly okay with a 10, 15, 20-hour game as long as it's fantastic.
The Ori games are not that long,
No.
and they're the greatest games ever made.
God of War, PS4 is pretty short. I think that's only like 15, 20 hours.
I skipped a lot of the side stuff in that game, but because I thought there was going to be DLC, and then there wasn't. I was like, I'll handle this stuff later when I come back to this game, and then they just didn't do it. Crash Bandicoot 4. Do you guys have that game, or is it out?
I do have
actually,
it.
I have it. I haven't played it yet.
Will you be playing it on PS5 now?
I think are we sure you have to pay to upgrade it?
I don't know. I didn't look it up, but they said something weird about there will be upgrade options. That doesn't sound
weird.
free to me. Like they would have said
Options.
Yeah, well they would have said you get these upgrades for free.
Maybe they meant like physical to digital, or I don't
Oh,
know.
maybe.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
Digital to digital.
I should have looked it up. I think they did refer
That's
you
not
to the website to look it up, but I just didn't.
Well, the Game Pack would love to refer all the listeners to the website. You could look it up yourself. Because I would say that I would pin it as a comment, but we were going 3 podcasts strong of me not doing that. It's literally a meme now. I'm gonna say it. I think I've probably said it before. Don't like him. Don't like the guy. The little bandicoot.
I don't think the platforming is it's not as I don't want to say as good as other platformers that are on the market currently.
This bandicoot ain't no monkey, okay? Gorilla.
It's like this weird 2D, 3D hybrid.
Mm-hmm. I tried the remakes, and I didn't like it. I just thought the preciseness of the platforming that's required, and like, you know, there's people who played Crash Bandicoot like back in the day, or they bought it, you know, with the remake, and they're like, it's amazing, I love it. What are you talking about? So like, you know, I might be wrong, but there's just other games in the world that I'm going to put time into to like master, and I'm not going to master trying to do like a turtle jump on a bridge to like get it. Like, I'm just not doing that.
That level sucks, and it's like a main level.
Suck.
You have to
so
do
hard. It really sucks. So yeah, that's how I feel about Crash Bandicoot. Did anybody want to talk about Returnal?
I'm excited for that game. I like
I might get it once it's on sale. I don't think I'll pay $70 for it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get it once it's on PS Plus.
Yeah. Did you? All right. So speaking, this is off topic, but speaking of that, did you see that the Destruction All Stars is going to be $20?
Yeah, I saw that.
That seems fair.
They were going to charge $70.
Oh, they were?
Yeah. And then they
Rocket League was like $20.
Yeah, but so it was originally supposed to be $70.
Yeah, as a launch title.
Then they put it on PS Plus, and I guess the feedback they got was not positive. So now it's going to be $20. I played it. It's not a $70 game. There's no way you should spend $70 on that game.
Don't do it. You heard it here. Don't do it.
But yeah, I can see the same thing with Returnal.
Yeah. It's like it's roguelike.
If you guys don't know what roguelikes are, it's once you die, you start all over. And it's
Thank you for clearing that up.
Some people might not know what it means.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like after Hades got so mainstream that there's like nobody who wouldn't know.
It's also progressive. Like it's not the same dungeon or enemy layout every single time. So when you die, it's a new layout.
It's like a new planet.
Yeah, it's a new
or something. It seems super interesting. I mean, maybe it'll start getting like 10 out of 10s and like it'll just be irresistible. But right now, I'm just reserving judgment. And also, it looks scary, and I don't play scary games. I've said that before. Like, I just don't like being scared. I feel like being alive in 2021 is just scary enough. So, like, when I do my escapism, it's not to, like, be terrified and have an anxiety attack. Yeah. I'm, like, all set on that. The one more game, and then we should probably jump over to do, like, a little deeper dive into Final Fantasy. But another game that I saw that was super cool, or that we all saw, was Sifu, which was basically an awesome kung fu looking game.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't tell if that was a roguelike or not. I didn't end up doing more research on it. I just watched the trailer twice, I think. But like it looked like every time he died, he came back and got older. Is that
He got older?
Is that your takeaway?
Huh. I haven't noticed
didn't
that.
notice
Yeah,
that.
he kept getting older and older.
I'm going to have to watch that trailer again. I did not notice that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, by the time the trailer ends, he's like an old man. It was really
I
interesting.
wonder if it's like a limited, like maybe you keep doing the same area, but once you die too many times, you like die for good and you have to start all over.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, you only have so much lifespan to get
Yeah.
through the whole game. That's actually sounds like a super cool game mechanic.
Don't steal that,
we
devs.
just made
Don't
up
do that now.
on the podcast. Dude, they're probably going to do it. But the combat looked really cool, like really flowy and like visceral, which looked cool. I was into it. I thought it looked like a great game. And that was also like an indie game, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Dude, PlayStation's got games. They got indies.
PlayStation.
Oh,
PS5
one
has
thing
games.
before we move on, Cam, you were looking forward to it, and they didn't show it. And what game was that? Do you remember? It was Stray.
Oh, yeah,
jeez,
yeah.
I forgot about Stray.
Yeah, so
yeah, I think I said that at the beginning. I forgot.
yeah, you had mentioned that you're like, oh, they're gonna show Stray. Like this is their system seller. Where's Stray?
System seller. I mean,
Okay, maybe he didn't say that. Maybe I added that
you
part.
play as
I
a
was just
cat.
like, oh, maybe
that is-
they'll show Stray. I don't know.
Yeah, so I would have loved to have seen Stray. And I would have loved to have seen... Let's talk about what we would love to have seen. Stray, Horizon Forbidden West,
God of War,
God of War,
Ratchet and Clank.
Kingdom Hearts 4. No, it would be like 3.7, right?
I
do
mean,
they do 'em,
honestly,
Cam?
like I would just want like a PS5 update for that one too. Like make the load times even faster.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
like
that
the
way we get
all-in-one
more
collection
PS5
on
updates. There's still like some games that haven't gotten them yet. Like Last of Us
Yes.
2 hasn't gotten it yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like that. Like Kingdom Hearts 3 could get like bump it to 4K, and yeah, make the load times faster.
All right. Yeah, so a PlayStation, Sony, I don't know, whoever I need to talk to, Mark Cerny, can y'all just upgrade all our old games, please? It's like not that big a deal.
Yeah.
4K
Copy and
60,
paste.
that's all we want.
Copy and
We
paste.
only want 4K 60. We don't want 8K 120. 4K 60. Meet us halfway. Come on, it's reasonable. All right, I want to move on to talk about Integrate in a little bit more detail, and then we can wrap up this PlayStation section. Okay, so Cam, you did a really good job explaining what it is. Is there anything that you didn't get to, or that you left out in your explanation? A moment ago?
I guess we could talk more about like the new story stuff. So,
Sure.
What I got from the trailer was there's like a section in the game in Remake where like Cloud kind of gets like separated from the group, and that's when I think this is taking place because they said in the trailer like, oh, like we lost Cloud or something. And that's where like Yuffie comes in, and there's gonna be like a whole story involved with her. And I haven't played the other like compilation of Final Fantasy games like Crisis Core and Dirge of Cerberus, but a lot of people were saying like, oh, like there's that one villain from like Dirge of Cerberus, and like people were getting like really excited about that.
Yeah.
So I like what they're doing with like
Vice?
involving like all of the compilation games. And this wasn't in the direct because it was more of like a mobile game stuff, but they did announce 2 mobile games for Final Fantasy VII, which were kind of cool.
Yeah, that like whole episodic thing sounded cool. And as long as they release them like the games themselves are episodes and not chunk them up again. Like, I don't need Final Fantasy VII in parts again as a remake. I've already got that thing that I'm kind of waiting for. I'm talking about the iOS game.
I mean,
Like,
I think they might do the same thing because like the Kingdom Hearts mobile game comes in chunks, like in episodes. So I don't keep up with that. So it's like sometimes it's like every month, or like sometimes it's like every other month. But like it's a steady stream of like episodes per se. So I don't know.
Gotcha. So yeah, I'm interested in checking that out. I mean, going to mobile is obviously a much probably more lucrative path for them to take, because everybody has a device. Anybody over the age of 16 has a device in their pocket. So and not everybody has a PlayStation 5 sitting next to their desk.
Nobody can find a
sitting on their
PlayStation
desk.
5, so
I know.
I do hope they like port them maybe to Switch or something down the line.
That would be so rad. That would be perfect. Just like they did with Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition.
Yep.
So I think that would be a great collection port to Switch. I guess my final thoughts on Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade is that at first my initial thought was, come on, just give me part 2. But then I kind of, realized that, you know what, it's an expansion for a potential definitive edition. These characters look cool. I want to learn about them. And I think Final Fantasy VII Remake is one of the better games of this generation. I think it's a really great game. 9 out of 10 from me at the Game Pack. Camilo gave it a 10. Watch the video. But I think it's great. So anytime they're giving me more content for that really great game, I'm excited for it.
Because the way I saw it was like when I beat the remake, I was like, okay, so like the second part, we're like 3 years off. So then like when I heard that we're going to get story, it's like, oh, this is good. This is kind of like a taste, or like to hold us over.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I'm
so that'd
excited.
be nice. If that's the precedent too, like that's super cool. So like you get the game, you play the game, and then a little bit later you get another like little vignette story, and then we wait 2 more years, and then we get another game, which is fine and like holds you over. It's a little snack to hold you over. I think it's cool. I hope they'd keep doing it. You guys have any final thoughts on PlayStation? Got to move on.
I'm excited because I'm actually going to try Final Fantasy VII Remake when it comes to PS5. I'm going to load it
Nice.
up finally.
Where'd you get that copy, bro?
Oh, man, I won this amazing bet. And
What was the bet?
if it was going to get delayed.
Oh, that's all that it was? It wasn't.
Yeah, and it got
anything
delayed
more
like
interesting than
a
that?
month. Yeah, no, it was. If
Oh.
it didn't come out in March of that year, of last year, I guess.
Yeah, 2020.
Yeah.
Well,
But yeah.
you'll be able to play the PS5 version June 10th.
June 10th. Yeah, that's cool. So yeah, Kena, August 24th, a little bit after that. June 10th for PlayStation 5, Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. Guys, we got a big summer. Skyward Sword, Mario Golf. It's going to be awesome. And speaking of things that aren't coming out this summer, do you guys want to move straight on to the Pokemon stuff? You ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, so let's jump right into the Pokemon Presents. Super excited to talk about this. There weren't as many announcements as I hoped there would have been, but as I always do, when we have Pokemon news, I'm going to throw it over to our resident Pokemaniac, and that's Cool Trainer Camilo. You want to walk us through the presents?
Okay, so start off with their look over the past 25 years of Pokemon. It was a really cool video, just going through each of the gens with everything related to Pokemon. We also got another look at new Pokemon Snap. They touched on a bunch of events happening in like all the Pokemon mobile games. Like there's an event going on in Masters, the Kanto celebration event going on in Pokemon Go. There's an event, or like you can get like bonus acorns or something they said in Pokemon Cafe Mix.
Oh, what? Seriously? Bonus acorns and
Yeah,
Pokemon Cafe
it
mix?
was like 2,500 golden acorns or something.
Yo, can we stop recording?
Yeah, we gotta change our stories, actually. We want to talk about that.
Oh my god.
And then they got to the game announcements. So we're getting Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl as our Gen 4 remakes, and they announced a new game called Pokemon Legends Arceus. So
Nice.
what do you guys
So,
think?
what are your guys' overall impressions of all that stuff? I kind of want to let's start. I want to talk about the video real quick because I have feedback on that. I thought it was awesome. I really liked the trip down memory lane. Like, I'm an old man, so I lived through all of that stuff. I ended up taking a break in the middle because I went to college and I was an adult man. And then I realized that actually being an adult man doesn't mean you can't play awesome video games for kids. So there was a gap, I think, for Gen 4 and Gen 5, and I played those later. But it's so cool. Really, they did a really, really good job talking about the history of Pokemon and making it an interesting video. I will say though, I think it'll be I think people are gonna meme it, because of the way that they were just saying words. At one point they just said books as one of the words. It was games, cards.
It really put in perspective how big a franchise Pokemon is.
It was insane. One of the shots was a plane with a Pikachu skin on it or something. I was like, holy moly, this franchise is taking over the world. But yeah, I wanted to talk about the video really quick. Did you guys want to say anything about the video?
It was really long. It's 6 minutes long.
Yeah.
It was 3 minutes too long.
They shot it at a certain frame rate that made it look like stop motion at one point. I just thought that was kind of cool.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah,
Or were you just lagging? You could have been lagging.
Oh. But no, I think they were moving cards around with hands and stuff, and I don't know, it kind of looked like stop motion. It was kind of cool.
It was super cool. I really liked it a lot. Minus just the random words. I thought that was I mark my words. That's gonna be number one on r/Pokemon.
I noticed they had a lot of because I was pointing it out when I was watching it. A lot of things that just Japan got. There were a few games and things that
What was that little wand thing that they were shaking back and forth?
Yeah, I don't think we got that. It was motion wand or something. It said.
Oh right, yeah. I was like, what is that thing? Cool. I think Pokemon Snap. We've talked about it before. I think we should better use our time to talk about the Gen 4 remakes themselves.
All I know is I'm gonna get famous on Pokemon Snap. I'm just gonna take amazing photos. Everybody's gonna like them. So it's gonna get famous on Pokemon Snap.
Do it. I'll follow you. Post them on Insta.
No, they have the built-in Poke Insta, whatever the heck they're gonna call it.
All right. I am steering us into the discussion about Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl remakes. Okay, so we got an announcement of the Gen 4 remakes. Everyone was begging for, looking at any type of rumor and trying to turn it into a trumor. And now we finally have them. And our notes here say they are very faithful remakes, which is something I feel like they said in the direct. Very faithful remakes, which is such a cop-out word to the fact to say that, hey, we made this 3D instead of 2D 3D.
So, well, the way I read that is they didn't add any content.
Yeah, that's
Also that. So the very faithful remakes to the original Pokemon Diamond and Pearl released in 2007, which was 15 years ago?
Yeah, 15 years ago.
All right. So what are your thoughts on the remake? I'm going to go first because I'm already talking. So I think that these remakes were a little bit phoned in. I don't want to hate on them too hard. But I think they're a little bit phoned in. They were not developed directly by Game Freak. They were developed by, what was it like?
Ilka.
What was it?
I think it was called Ilka. Ilka.
Ilka. I almost said incel. It was developed by Ilka, and Ilka is the company who made the app Pokemon Bank. You know that thing where you put your Pokemon for like $2.99 a month or whatever?
Pokemon Home.
Or Pokemon
Same-
Home,
it's
sorry.
same thing,
I gotta
same
get
thing.
with the time. Sorry, bro.
It's the phone
Pokemon
app.
Home. It's like basically an app where you can store your Pokemon, and they decided, Game Freak in their infinite wisdom, to just say, hey, you guys made that thing for us. You've seen Pokemon sprites before. Can you make a game that's Pokemon sprites again, but 3D?
I can
So-
like kind of see why they did this, because they want to like put their efforts on like the next like new main game.
Right.
But at the same time, I feel like it's like kind of doing like a disservice to the game.
Yeah.
What's
it's
weird?
not-
What's weird is it's it's the chibi top-down look in the overworld, but when you go
But
into
not in battles.
yeah, in the battle, it's you see your trainer, you see the Pokemon in 3D. So I don't know what made them make that decision to not just go the route of Sword and Shield, where you see your character and you see.
Dude, it was probably honestly easier to remake the world 1-to-1, but in 3D with like HD like graphics, and
Yeah, but-
then take all the Pokemon battle sprites and everything from the other games
I guess.
for battles.
I wouldn't even mind like if they weren't like so like short, and just like if they moved the camera down like a little bit so you could see more like behind the character instead of like on top of the character.
Yeah, it's super. It's like exactly the same. It's like the same camera distance.
But
It's
don't-
very faithfully recreated.
Don't you feel this? I feel nostalgic when I see it, like that top-down Pokemon.
Yeah, I also had a realization about this game. I was like kind of like not super excited because they are very faithful, and I have been doing a sleep walk of Pokemon Diamond like 4 times in a row. So I played this game like 4 times in the past 3 months. So I was looking for something kind of like new and different, and this was like kind of like the same thing.
I thought you were gonna
it's
say that
like-
you fell asleep playing them, and that's why you hate it.
I mean, it'll be nice because Gen 4 is notoriously known for being a slow game. Like, the health bars deplete slowly, and I'm sure that will be remedied. There's going to be some quality of life things, and for people who never played it before, like, that's the thing, is, like, you got to think about, like, we're older, which I'm going to mention for the 3rd time in the podcast, I think, today. We're older, so 15 years ago, like, I was 20, okay? So, like, 15 years ago, people who are listening to this podcast weren't alive. So, like, this is going to be the first time they ever got to play it, and if it's, like, close to the original, like, that's kind of cool, like, in one way.
I guess, but it's more like the game still exists. It's not like you can still play the original, but like when it's something more new,
Not
But we're
easily,
getting
though.
further and further away from, like, every month that passes is another month that, like, 3DS is, like, in a graveyard.
So how much, like, if you want to buy Diamond and Pearl, how much is it going to set you back?
Also, if you want to buy Diamond and Pearl and get a legitimate copy, like, that's a whole nother story altogether. Because
Yeah,
Pokemon
but-
games are notoriously reproed and lied about.
but I don't think you would gain anything playing this version of Diamond versus if it was like more of an actual remake. Like, it's still not the original technically,
Yeah.
but it's I don't know. I feel like it's like a halfway remake.
Yeah, kind of. It, like, the way that they have, like, the trees and stuff, too, are super weird, because, Pokemon just can't get trees right. But, like, there's just, like, the boundaries of the level are, like, it's a bunch of the same exact tree copy-pasted 1,000 times. And I'm like, are we not past this?
Well,
We're on the Nintendo Switch, and there's copy-pasted trees everywhere?
I also feel like we're...
And I know some people are making parallels to Link's Awakening, but I don't think that this these graphics are Link's Awakening level. Link's Awakening has like so much polish and love and cool lighting effects and like I
mean, I'd be more down like if it was like if it legit looked more like Link's Awakening and it didn't look as like cheesy.
Yeah, but the frame rate on Link's Awakening.
All right, let's not talk about that. But also think about how they took Link's Awakening from 2D sprites on an 8-bit system and then transformed it into this cool thing on Switch in HD, where they're taking something from 15 years ago that was already kind of 3D, not 100% 3D, but kind of.
Yeah, it was like the first Pokemon game to have like the beginnings of like 3D with like the buildings and stuff.
Yeah, there was like definitely like depth and stuff. There's layers. But like that leap is not as big, so people making these comparisons like, oh my gosh, it's just like what like Zelda does, and I'm like, not really, because like Zelda put a lot of TLC into Link's Awakening, and this really looks like they just were like, okay, so here's everything already laid out, like literally square by square. Let's just make it 3D models for it.
I also feel like we're going backwards.
What do you mean? Oh, yeah. I agree.
There's no overworld Pokemon anymore. At least not that you could tell.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like all
also,
random.
but it looks like it's just the Sinnoh Pokedex. Like I don't know if you're gonna be able to have like other Pokemon besides that.
And they specifically said the Diamond and Pearl Pokemon.
But we don't know for sure. But
also don't know for sure if there's platinum content.
Well, there's a Porygon Z in there, and Porygon Z was not in the original decks for Diamond and Pearl.
Dude, look at you sleuthing.
I know you do one of those deep dive.
Yeah, they did the decks for the original Diamond and Pearl so weird because there was all these like Gen 4 evolutions that were like Gen 4 Pokemon. They weren't even in the decks. I don't know why they did that, but
is that the ones with like Electivire and
like Electivire and Magmortar? I was gonna say another thing. I forget now.
About going back and like how Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire is like a better remake than this one is.
Yeah, it's I guess I was expecting.
Like they added so much stuff. Like there's just like Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire looked like it was in the X and Y world. It had so many added things. It had the Delta episode. Like all that stuff seemed so cool, and like none of that stuff seemed to be highlighted during the Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl remake.
So like when they revealed Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, we saw like the Primal Groudon and Primal Kyogre. Mm-hmm. I don't think that's happening here.
They also had the mechanics of X and Y, like they had Mega Evolutions.
Yeah,
and it looked nice. And I don't think Diamond.
If they changed anything, it wouldn't be faithful. It has to be a faithful remake.
See, that seems lazy. I don't know. That part seems lazy.
It does. And I'm not hearing that just from like Twitter or you guys. I'm literally hearing it from people who don't really like aren't huge gamers. They're just like, "Yo, what are they doing? Like, why is this so low effort?"
But here's my thought. Here's my thoughts on that. Right? We have Let's Go. We got Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. Right? That's a different experience than Sword and Shield.
Totally.
And then we got Sword and Shield. You know, that's a different experience than Diamond and Pearl. Diamond and Pearl is going to be different than all the other ones on the Switch. And then Legends is going to be even more different. So I think they're just trying to give different experiences.
Yeah,
that's fair.
I think it's also they might be like responding to like all the comments they got on like Sword and Shield and Let's Go, and they're like, oh, we can't do another Let's Go. Like people hated that, and like people hated how Sword and Shield looked. So we got to do something like very different now.
But now everybody's mad about what they did. So it's like you can't please everybody. I know a lot of people are excited about it.
Like at the end of the day, I just want to like clarify my feelings. I'm not mad about it. It's just confusing and seems lazy. I think it's probably going to be fine and fun, and I might end up getting it and playing it. But it just seems like, like just anytime they like chibi-fy graphics, it's usually like because Like, think about when they chibified, like, the Final Fantasy remakes on, like, iOS. It's just, like, because it's low effort to do that. To, like, run something through, like, an AI program to, like, generate pixels for you. It
plus,
just
like, they
seems
didn't
the
chibi
easy
the
way
battles.
out.
They didn't cheap. Like, the battle system is still, you know, what we've been seeing in 3D Pokemon.
No, I know, but that's copy pasta, my friend.
Yeah, and I'm agreeing with you that it is. It seems lazy, right? It seems lazy.
I'm agreeing with you.
Let me agree with you. Hold on.
Let me agree. This doesn't make sense. Normally, this far into the podcast, we're just yelling at each other. All right, so I've made my piece. I think I've said everything I need to say without, talking in circles about these Diamond Pro remakes. How about starter? Chimchar. Team Chimchar.
Cam's Piplup. Yeah, I knew it. I knew your Piplup.
What did you say, John? I missed it. I'm sorry.
Chimchar.
Yeah, Chimchar gang.
Always fire.
Yeah, mostly always fire for me.
I don't know.
Actually,
I've never picked Chimchar. Because I picked
do it this time.
Piplup and Diamond, and then when I played Platinum, I picked Turtwig.
I might do Turtwig, because I just did a Diamond playthrough, and I did Chimchar.
Are HMs coming back?
I didn't do 3 Diamond playthroughs over the course of a couple months, though. It was just one.
Actually, no, wait, I lied. When I bought Pearl like a year ago, I think I picked Chimchar.
Oh, nice. Sweet. So we all love Chimchar. Final thoughts before we move on to what I thought was the coolest announcement.
I hope HMs do not come back.
They're faithful, though.
Oh, come on, man.
Dude.
Need a slave.
That word is going to haunt us.
All right,
forever.
Bidoof, let's go.
I know they did say it has the modern conveniences of Pokemon, so maybe I don't know.
Yeah, like Pokéride or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you think? Actually, quick question before we move on. Do you think this was in development for the 3DS, even though that was a long time ago?
That would have been
And that's why it
long
looks so bad?
development cycle.
So long.
I don't know.
I mean, dude, they had to learn how to make a video game because all they knew how to do was make a phone app.
Well, not really,
So
because I don't know if they would have planned this other studio to make it for that long, right?
Probably not. I don't know. That was just some, conspiracy theory I wanted to throw out at the very end. Anyways, that's everybody said their piece.
Yep.
Pokemon Legends Arceus. Now that got my hair standing up a little bit for reasons. The most surprising announcement of the Direct is another game in the Sinnoh region. So it was a Sinnoh announcement day. It's loosely based on feudal Japan, and you're tasked with creating Sinnoh's first ever Pokedex. Which I will say, isn't that what the other games are about?
No, they have a Pokedex.
Maybe you
just have to
don't.
complete
Maybe
it.
you just don't have you catch Pokemon there's no entry. Maybe you have to go somewhere and make the entry or something.
Oh, that would be kind of cool. Yeah, maybe. But I kind of thought the whole idea of Pokemon is that you were given a Pokedex by a professor and you have to fill it, and you're the first one to ever do it.
Did you see what the Pokeballs look like?
Yeah, they're awesome. They're wooden
zippered.
with little lock latches
Yeah.
on them. Holy cow, those looked so cool. So they're definitely getting creative. But it was open world.
We don't know.
No, yeah,
Looked open world.
It looks
I
open
think that's
world.
the idea.
But they
What
said
did-
the town is a base. So is there only one town and you just go out into this wild, what do they call it, wild hunt?
I think so. I mean, it's no one lives there. It's they're colonizing the region kind of.
Oh no, I wrote Wild Hunt because the point I want to make is that it sort of looks like a giant wild area, graphically, and The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt runs on the Switch, okay? And the environments in that game with the lush birch trees and rolling rivers and hills, and you could get lost in the wilderness in that game. And I'm just confused why that can be done. But when it comes to making an open world game about discovering and exploring and finding monsters, we've sort of just got a giant open valley
It's still
with trees.
early. But
Yeah, that'll look very early gameplay.
But I mean, I agree. I think it's still going to look similar. Like, I don't think it's going to be a lush forest, you know?
Right? Like, when we saw that Ponyta reveal event, I'm like, where is that? And then they're like, okay, here's the open world thing everyone's asking for. And then they show footage, and I'm like, yeah, but, like, where's the lush forest that I'm, like, lost in? Like, I want to get lost in this world. Have I said lost enough times yet?
Can we have a Switch Pro before this thing comes out?
Maybe
Oh, yeah,
this
'cause it's
is
not
the
gonna
Switch
work.
Pro launch, you know?
What is the Pokemon that's a bell?
Chingling?
Chingling.
Chingling. The first time they showed Chingling, it lagged.
Yeah, it was like
Oh my
a few
God.
frames. It was like 2 frames per second.
It
does
dropped.
It is rough looking right now. Like, that whole game just looks rough.
Why does the player character need a dodge roll?
Because you get attacked by Pokemon.
All right.
I think they showed that.
Did they?
I don't know. Maybe not.
Have we explained enough what this is yet? So, Pokemon Legends Arceus, there is like a home base, like you guys were saying. There's like a town, and then when you leave the town, it's just a gigantic open world of ancient Sinnoh. I don't know. Is that too much of a? It's like how many thousands of years in the past,
like
right?
hundreds of years in the past.
Hundreds of years. And then the terrain's going to be a little bit different. They said that like some areas like aren't going to be recognizable.
They showed a mountain. There's
Mount
get to go to a
Coronet
mountain,
is
right?
in the middle because that's how it was. That's how Sinnoh is.
Oh, okay.
It's got that mountain.
Um,
They didn't explain Arceus at all, like why it's
they
called
said
that.
what your 3 starters are going to be.
Oh yeah, they did.
Yeah,
So Rowlet,
Random.
Cyndaquil, and Oshawott.
which is cool because they mixed it up.
Yeah, I wonder why they did that.
'Cause
I
they didn't
know.
want to make new ones, and they also didn't want to do the same exact starters that are going to be released in the game from like 3 months ago that they just released.
I think they picked those specifically because they like represent like the samurai, the archer, and like the warrior, which are like kind of like fits in with the theme of feudal Japan.
Look at
I
dude,
know.
Cam's coming in with like the
know,
deep
facts.
cuts. It's like, dang man,
I'm going Cynical on this one.
I couldn't
yeah,
decide
me
because
too,
like those are
probably.
all my favorite. Like if I
I love Rowlet, but I played so much Sun and Moon that I think I'm all set on him. And Oshawott's evolution is ugly and terrible. And if you like it, you have bad taste.
I think I'm picking Oshawott.
Well,
I just saying that-
Samurot's really cool though. So
Wait, Samurott, the final evolution?
yeah,
Yeah.
No.
It has
I
like
like
a
that.
sword that it like pulls out of its
Oh,
like
come
arms.
on,
Worse than
man.
Poplio. Or whatever. What's Primarina?
Poplio.
Worse than Primarina. As far as final forms go.
all of those final forms are great. You know, Typhlosion.
Typhlosion's dope. I mean,
Decidueye.
Cyndaquil's awesome. Johto is like my favorite region, so I'll probably go with
I love that
Cyndaquil.
they fixed Cyndaquil because he's sitting there and his flames are out. But
As they should be, because they're quills.
yeah, but like before, if you just had like a Cyndaquil like sitting in front of you, its flames don't come out unless it does an attack.
Huh. Yeah, I think I saw that online, and I was confused by it. So, like, I thought it was just, like, people talking about, like, oh, yeah, and when I go on shiny hunts, when I put a GIF on my stream, it's, like, not, his flames aren't out. But now it's fixed. But, yeah, I'm down for some Cyndaquil action. I'm down for some open world action. Definitely, of all the announcements, I mean, second to Pokemon Cafe Mix getting all those acorns.
I wonder.
I think Pokemon Legends Arceus sounds like the most interesting to me because it's freaking new. It's a new idea.
Yeah.
They're doing something new finally.
I wonder what they're gonna have you do besides just like making a Pokedex. If there's like, I mean, if you're just like, it is a single player game. Like, there's no like battling other players like connectivity wise. So there's not really going to be a competitive scene. Like, what are you going to do with the Pokemon you catch and all that kind of stuff?
You're gonna go slay God. Gonna kill Arceus, man. I don't know. I think it's cool. They're literally, I think it's like somebody was like, we need to make the Breath of the Wild Pokemon. It's a single player game, and then they did it. So I mean, the game is a year away, probably, if not a year and some change away.
They said early 2022.
Yeah, early 2022 could be.
So that could be up until June
June
1st.
But yeah, I mean, we've got plenty of stuff to play until that game comes out.
Do you think this takes over for Gen 9? Like, are we getting a Gen 9?
No, this is a new thing.
Yeah, this is like a new series kind of thing.
So
I don't know if this game comes out at the beginning of next year, I don't know if we would get Gen 9 at the end of next year.
I was thinking we might get, another Sword and Shield. We get the...
What do you mean?
I don't know, just
another expansion pass?
Either expansion pass or, a third entry.
I don't think we're going to get a third entry. I think that
because
model is
they already
dead.
did the DLC, and I don't think they would do a DLC for a game that old at that point. I feel like they either do Johto or they do the next game.
Oh yeah, they might do Johto. Actually,
they can do a Let's Go Johto.
Yeah, I think that's what he was saying. Yeah, I think that the next games that we can expect are Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, Legends Arceus, and then maybe Christmas that year we get Let's Go Johto. That's my hot prediction. Hot take. What do you think? Let's Go Johto, Christmas 2022?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else they could do. There's no way. I doubt that they release this brand new...
Yeah, I mean, I do think that what they're doing with the Legends Arceus, like, this is a test for, like, the next, like, Gen 9 game or whatever. Like, if this works, they'll probably put whatever was in this in that game.
So everyone buy it because it looks...
Everybody's gonna buy it. It doesn't matter what. It doesn't matter what. People are gonna complain. Everybody's gonna buy Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, too.
Speaking of buying Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, which version do you plan on getting? Camilo, you're planning on getting both. John?
I'll probably get Diamond. I don't know. I never really played the Gen 4. I never played Gen 4. Never really played them. So
which Monstie is on which box?
Dialga Diamond.
Dialga's on
Pearl.
Diamond.
Probably do Brilliant Diamond then.
I mean, I'll eventually get both of them probably because I got both Sword and Shield eventually, and I
have both of everything. I literally have them all. I've caught them all. I don't know if it's going to be in frame, but I'm pointing to them all. I have a Pokemon section in my shrine of sadness.
And you haven't even opened. You haven't opened one of them, right? Like Let's Go Eevee or one of them.
Yeah, Pikachu. Let's go Pikachu. I actually hadn't opened my other. What did I open? Not open Sword. I hadn't opened Sword, and then my brother came to visit me, and I was like, "Here, open this. We're playing together now." That was so much fun. Very reminiscent of being a child and just like laying on the floor playing a handheld Pokemon game together. Like, dude, those are like some of the best gaming memories I have. So much fun. And some of the best gaming memories that I continue to make well into my 30s. All right. Well, do you guys have anything else that you want to talk about Pokemon related at all? Camilo, tell me all your feelings. What didn't you say yet?
I'm really excited. I feel like what they did was they were doing the Diamond and Pearl remakes, and they decided to take some of the ambition out of the actual remakes and put it into this like Sinnoh Arceus game. Because this is where like all the like the new like Sinnoh stuff is coming from, but it's like not really like the remake.
Do you think at some point during development they were like somebody had the idea for like, okay, so like let's put wild areas in the remake because that's what's in Sword and Shield, and then that just like morphed into
Maybe, yeah.
Legends Arceus, and then they were like, well, crap, like we made a whole new game that sounds awesome. What do we do? And then some dude from Pokemon Home was just twiddling his thumbs in the corner, and they're like, yo, bro. Hey, so people have been asking for these games, and like we might not make these by accident. Can you like finish this for us? And he goes, well, I don't know. What do you want me to do? It's like, dude, there's that one. Oh, go grab the DS over there and just make it. Just make it just look like that. Just do that.
Yeah, I guess my
Copy and
expectation
paste.
was that we were going to get a game like ORAS, and it was going to be like, okay, like everything Pokemon, like competitive wise, like VGC is just going to transfer over to Diamond and Pearl, but like that doesn't look like that at all. I feel like Sword and Shield's going to stay like the competitive.
Yeah, I was gonna
game.
ask that. What's the future of VGC?
I don't think they could transfer this game. It's not going to have Gigantamax, Dynamax, like all that stuff. And then Arceus isn't even like multiplayer.
Nah, that's just gonna be a fun game to play. I think. I think that's gonna be fun. I actually am curious about like a single player Pokemon. It's never happened before, so I'm just curious to what that's gonna look like and how that's gonna feel to play. If it's gonna feel like there should be more, or it's gonna feel empty because you're doing the journey alone, or if it's gonna feel great that like you're like, okay, I'm on this quest by myself and everything's up to me.
And
Like
you
that
can
might be cool
actually
to feel
complete it by
like in the
yourself.
Pokemon universe.
You know,
I just wonder if we're staying on Sword and Shield competitive wise, like is that going to get stale? Because like they rotate the rules every year, but like once they like get through all the rules, they kind of have to like redo the rules. So I don't know.
I'm not super into the scene. I mean, I built a team and did a tournament, but it's not really my thing. But like, yeah, I hope it doesn't get stale for everybody who really loves that stuff. That would be awful. But maybe they'll think of something. Because like that's a big community. Like they need to make them happy. I don't know. Maybe everyone just switch to Pokemon cards. That seems to be the hot ticket.
just collecting them, not playing the TCG.
Yo, give me those codes, bro.
I have so many.
So many codes. All right, so I'm the most excited about Legends Arceus. John, what are you most excited about?
I also Legends Arceus, but I am really excited to play Diamond and Pearl because that's the only gen that I haven't played, so
Oh,
my
nice.
first time experiencing it.
Plus, we can all play together. Like, Legends Arceus is single player. Like, we can all play Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl. And you know what? We'll be all starting from zero again, so we can try a
Diamond and Pearl
three-way
had
shiny
some, like,
hunt again.
Even like the base had some like really cool multiplayer features with like the underground and stuff. So that'd be cool to see like once it gets on Wi-Fi and all that.
Sweet. Yeah, it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to playing with you guys. All right, with all that... Wait, did I ask Cam what your favorite thing was going to be?
Probably Legends Arceus.
Yeah.
I want to see like how this goes.
Yeah, I'm very curious. And I'm sure I'm excited for E3 this year, guys. I feel like there's going to be
I feel like they're going to show like a lot of this.
I think E3 for Nintendo is going to be crazy. Or they're not going to do anything and we're going to get partner showcases. They could go either way.
There's no way.
Sweet.
There's no way they go back to that.
All right, well, that was so much news, guys. We got through all the Sony news that mattered, and then all the Pokemon news in one podcast, and we did it in record time. All right,
hit
so
our
thank
mark.
you guys. What's that?
We hit our mark.
We hit our mark exactly.
Yeah.
We're getting. You know what? 71 episodes in, guys. I think we might have figured something out. All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget that you can watch or listen to the entire podcast on your platform of choice, including subscribing to the YouTube video version. You can ring that notification bell while you're over there, huh? Smash like, comment. We're always there to respond to your comments and stuff like that. Discord is in the description. You can also follow our Twitter and Instagram. Both are at the GamePack YT. Thanks again for watching and or listening. You guys take care, and we'll see you next week.